In this video, we are exploring the role of product management in Scaled Agile Framework. The SAFe defines the role of a product management in 5 categories. So, we will explore these categories in detail. But before we get there, let us have a brief understanding of the overall role of a product management. We understand in a safe way of working, we form something called Agile Release Train. The Agile Release Train has multiple Agile teams, and these teams are working together, collaborating in order to deliver a value on a continuous basis. Now, this Agile Release Train has to be fed with right requirement, right priorities, and the input which tells them what to work on, where to focus, and ensure that we are delivering value to the end customer. This backlog in a safe terminology is called ERT Backlog. Now, the product management plays a critical role in ensuring identification of these ERT backlog items and the prioritization of these ERT backlog items. But you understand, this might be that their final output they generate. The product management does lot of things which helps them in reaching to a right backlog for the Agile Release Train. You also understand that just giving a backlog item is not the end of the story. We need to ensure the value getting delivered, and we need to also evaluate after the value get delivered, is it the right value or we can do some adjustment, and accordingly we need to take a feedback in our ERT backlog. So, the product management plays a role in identifying, managing the features in the ERT backlog, getting them validated once they get delivered to the end customer, ensuring they are getting delivered frequently, and do the support and facilitation work as much needed during the ERT execution or a PI execution. So, let us learn the 5 categories of product management role, which helps us in understanding this overall picture in little bit more detail. So, starting with exploring market and users. So, product management should focus on what kind of customer segment we are targeting. What are the various categories we should focus on, the user categories we should focus on. They may do it by way of doing market research. They may conduct various surveys. They may use some direct user inputs. Sometimes they may use a secondary data based input in order to understand what are the market trend and what kind of a customer segment we should be focusing on. So, understanding the overall market rhythm, what kind of competition we are facing, what kind of release frequency market is expecting, when the new product launch are coming from the other competitors, when the technology is getting changed which may trigger another product launch, when the demand will go high related to our customer segment, when the demands are low. Understanding the overall user segment and the market is something needed before I can understand what product I should make. So, the product management plays a role in exploring the market and the user and understanding the overall segment. Now, once I understand that, I get into the details and I start focusing on connecting with the customers. So, connecting with the customer is basically focusing on empathizing with them, understanding their needs and expectation, focusing on customer centricity. So, understanding the segment leads us to identify a group of customers or a named customers or a user personas, and based on those named customers or user personas, the product management may work on detailed analysis based on customer centricity mindset, maybe creating empathy map, maybe creating user journey map to understand how we can serve our target users, target customers. Continuously engaging with the customers and understanding their need and expectation in a given market segment where you are operating is the role of product management. So, it's like I understand my market, I understand that I am working in the e-commerce industry and we are focusing on say the younger demography of a particular segment, and we are focusing on female segment here, and we understand the female segment, the purchase pattern varies over the during the year in this particular way, and we understand there are other competitors who might be also launching the product in this particular pattern, this job. Once I done with that, then I understand my typical persona, a female customer segment which I am targeting on, what kind of expectation they have when they make a purchase decision, what kind of preference, what kind of a challenges they are facing when they are making a purchase decision. So I get into their shoe and I understand what can help them. Yeah. So I may create a typical say Janet as a persona, and I may get into the details of what Janet might need in order to get the purchase done in a better way. So I do this job as a product management. Now once I understand the market, when I understand the person, here now I focus on solution space. So let's look at my product now. I understood that yes, I am into the business of selling things to female segment of young demography. Now my product strategy, my vision and my roadmap should be focusing on what we are building over a period of time, which can help us in getting our customer segment value out of our product. So product management plays a role in defining product strategy, visions and roadmap. Now when I am defining a product strategy, it should also match with my organization strategy and vision. So I need to ensure as a product manager that we have a clear understanding of my organization strategic themes, where my organization is putting money, what kind of values they want to achieve from the market, in which area they want to focus, and I also need to integrate with where my customers are and what they expect from the products which they probably invest or think of using. So looking at my organization strategies, looking at my customer segment, looking at our capacity in our Agile Release Train, I need to come up with my product strategy and the roadmap. So vision may talk about the high level goal we want to achieve with the help of our product. Roadmap should be progressively elaborated. It is a high level thing which tells that how over a period of time we are going to launch the product which will delight our customer and make maybe economic value for our business. So these are the things which becomes a responsibility of a product management. Now we have not yet reached the features. We are talking about the big picture here, but the big picture should be clear. This big picture should be clear before I can reach to that this is what we are expecting Agile Release Train to work upon. Now when it comes to product strategy, vision and roadmap, the product management has a big role of engaging with stakeholders which are called business owners, also engaging with technical people called system architect, also engaging with team level product owners who are working here, who will be getting things in detail developed or explained to the Agile team. So while I am creating a vision and roadmap as a product manager, I need to ensure that we have a good communication of it. We have a good collaborative preparation of vision and roadmap where the team level views, the stakeholder level views, the architect level views all get integrated. So as a role of a product manager, I ensure that I talk to various stakeholders, I align with my business strategy, I align with my customer expectation, and I create a solution level visions, roadmaps, and prepare a strategy which is aligned with organization strategy. Now after doing this, now action time. Managing and prioritizing ERT backlog, this thing. Yeah. Now, when I create a vision and roadmap, it is at a high level. Incrementally, in the Agile way of working, our focus is that we need to deliver value incrementally. And those small incremental piece of values needs to be feeded into the Agile Release Train backlog so that within the program increment or a planning interval which we have a new word now. So within a planning interval, these features get developed and probably also get released. So we need to create right size features. So while the job of managing and prioritizing the ERT backlog, the first thing comes up as a role of a product management is discovering and refining the features which are related with all these three things. I understand my customer, I understand my customer segment, I understand my product strategy. Now all put together, I create features. Those features should be well refined by taking view from business owners, system architect, product owners. So I as a product manager may run various refinement sessions. I do this particular job with the help of ERT Kanban system where I manage various features as per their refinement stage. I may put the feature in the funnel stage, I may put more information, benefit hypothesis and acceptance criteria, put them in analyzing stage, and when the features are ready, which means they looks good to get developed in a given PI, they have enough acceptance criteria attached to it, I move them into the ERT backlog. And once I put them into ART backlog, I work with business owners, product owners, system architect, collaborate with them to ensure the prioritization of ART backlog with the help of applying techniques like WSGF. On a regular basis as well, these ART backlog items should get communicated to various agile teams, and when the agile teams are working, I ensure that I also keep communicating the real intent behind the features, and I work very closely with the product owner by way of engaging with them, creating weekly meetings with them to ensure the right intent of the backlog item is communicated, and to also facilitate various fine grained understanding of requirement, because my product owners might be working on user stories. After doing all this, so the features are ready, they are into ART, there will be a role during the PI planning meeting as well, so which is not very explicitly coming in the content, but in the PI planning meeting, as you understand, we take the work from the ART backlog to multiple agile teams. The product management plays a role to ensure a right understanding in the product management group, in the product owners and the teams, so that they can do a fair amount of planning of their work for the upcoming planning interval. Now, once all these things done, focusing on delivering value. So, what comes into delivering value? Now, these features are getting developed, worked upon by the agile teams. The product owners are helping them by way of further refining the features into user stories, and they are collaboratively developing it, integrating and taking care of various dependency, and finally making them ready for release. So, as a product management, I need to ensure that I provide all the supports, all the clarification to my Agile Release Train, so that they can come up with the ready or a finished feature or a done feature. During this particular time, I may need to work with other stakeholders as well. They may need to give some additional information so that we are ready, we understand the features well. Now, features are ready from a development side. Just having readiness of a feature or completeness of a feature, let's use a word because the ready word is used in a different context as well. So, feature has been done from a development perspective at least, it is still not delivering a value. In order to deliver a value, just finishing the development is not enough. So, product management should ensure that we deliver the value. Now, in order to deliver the value, I may need to work with these people, the customer segment, and make my feature understood to them. I may need to work my operational team, my call center, my support people, my sales people, and ensure that they understand the value of a new features, and they have their internal readiness to ensure that they can exploit the feature and generate value for the organization. So, in a way, making the new content, new functionality familiar to the end user, familiar to the operational staff, creating an environment so that they are ready to consume that new functionality, making that new functionality available to them, providing them the necessary support, ensuring that necessary support and facilitation is done for the new functionality to get consumed, and then finally making sure the new functionality is available in the production environment. And afterwards, even monitoring how this new functionality is helping us in return some kind of economic value which we have thought before. So, ensuring the calculation of benefit hypothesis validation. We had some assumption here, we see how these assumptions are coming true. That is also a role of a product management. So, it is overall because this understanding of real benefit delivery will help us in doing rest of the activities well, because the idea of safe way of working is that this is happening on a continuous basis. So, we are doing continuous value delivery. It is not a one-time cycle, it is something a repetitive cycle, and all the time I am exploring the segment, improving my customer understanding, updating my product roadmaps, refining my Agile Release Train backlog, incrementally delivering values, and with the delivery of a value, creating an environment for the delivery of value and taking feedback back and improving it again. So, that is the overall understanding of the role of product management in SAFe. We do have a detailed block which can help you in understanding the product management role little bit more. So, I recommend you to check that particular block. The URL is available in the comment area. You can also check the Scaled Agile page on product management to understand the official expectation from product management role in Scaled Agile framework.